Hey folks, Kilt-Man here, Kilt-Man, at your service. No one else's, just yours. Oh, you catch me this morning wearing the blue Mackay. My favourite knockabout kilt. It's blue and it's a Mackay. It's a blue Mackay. How are you folks? Hope you're all doing very well. Apologies for some real life things getting in the way of the normal run and scheme of the Kilt-Man videos. But hey, back in business, shall we say. What you hear behind you is the fabulous score to 1933's immortal monster masterpiece, King Kong. Max Steiner, the absolute godfather of movie scoring. He is the guy credited always as having created the leitmotif, the recurring theme for characters and for situations, and the godfather of modern film scoring as we know it. My earliest memories, by the way, of anything at all, my earliest memories are of two films. Sitting on my mum's big kilt mama knee watching They Die With Their Boots On, the story of Custer, Errol Flynn playing Custer, and then possibly the following week, I think this was a Sunday afternoon sort of thing, the way my mind seems to conjure up these things, watching King Kong. Now, remarkably, both films were scored by the great Max Steiner. Who'd have thought? And of course, from that point onwards, fostered in me was an undying adoration and obsession with movies and movie scores, as you all know. King Kong, 1933. Ernest B. Schoedsack and Marion C. Cooper, both adventurers, both went to the jungles and had adventures and all sorts of things. Kind of, real daring-do sorts of guys. And they, together with Edgar Wallace and Willis O Brien, came up with the idea of this giant ape, this giant gorilla on Skull Island, worshipped and feared by the inhabitants, the natives on the island, who ritualistically give sacrifices to the great Kong to save themselves. And of course, he is hidden behind a great big wall in the centre of the island, and there's all dinosaurs and other lost world stuff going on there. Into this world comes Ann Darrow, the great Fay Wray, Robert Armstrong and Bruce Cabot as well, who journeyed, big white explorers, to this mystical world. And of course, Anne gets sacrificed to Kong, but Kong has never seen a blonde girl before. And he kind of likes blondes, so he takes a big fancy to her. The rest, of course, is history. He scales the Empire State Building and he gets shot off the top of it horrifically and crashes to his demise. The king is dethroned and murdered, basically. And murdered by Marion C. Cooper and Ernest Schoedsack, because they're the guys flying. When you see them in close-up, fire, in the biplane, that's them. So they actually killed their own beast. Anyway, we're playing the music, and the eagle-eyed amongst you will have spotted that somewhere around me is... Yes! Somewhere around me, in fact there it is a mask. Now this mask did arrive quite a few days ago, but we won't go into the reasons why I haven't covered it as yet. But here we go folks. Trick or Treats Studios came up with this, the original King Kong mask. There you go, there's the labelage. There's the original poster, or one of the many posters for King Kong 1933. Been remade a few times, and I love every version of King Kong, but for different reasons. The version I perhaps love most of all, well, I love the original version because I think it's a masterpiece of action and horror and monster and suspense. It's just a genius movie. But the one that perhaps really has a big impact on me is the 1977 version, or 76 version, with from Dino De Laurenti, or Dino De Dum Dum, as he's known within the film business, with Jeff Bridges and Jessica Lange, and in which he climbs the World Trade Center and jumps from one tower to the other. Helicopter gunships machine gun him in the most horrific manner. Oh, it's like a video nasty. But John Barry's score for that is what makes it. Rick Baker made the suit. The suit is crap, as he freely admits. You can see the zipper in it. But the mask itself is absolutely fantastic. And I love the film. It's a romance. A very strange romance, of course, but it's a romantic movie. And John Barry's lush score tugs at the heartstrings and is just so swooning, tragic, and also exciting as well. But anyway, enough of that. Here we have Trick or Treat Studios' Justin Maybury sculpted mask from the original King Kong. Now, look at it. I know you guys are thinking, that's the goofiest looking gorilla I've ever seen in my life. Well, if you look in the original movie, Willis O Brien's stop motion animation for Kong, which is fantastic, he does change throughout the movie. There are many bits where he's very simian, he's purely ape-like, then he's upright and horrifically monstrous, and then there's bits in close-ups where, like you see here, he's kind of like, well, it's more of he's a friendly sort of ape, you know, he's not a monster, he's a good guy, really, you know, but tell that to all the natives that he's eaten before and stomped on, and he does a fair bit. The kill ratio in the original King Kong is absolutely huge. He kills a lot of people, stomps them flat, bites the heads off. You know, he's a nasty piece of work when he's angry. Anyway, but here we go. Here's the mask. Little ears, little tiny ears hidden away in there, in amongst all this lush fur. Now, Trick or Treat Studios have this thing with a lot of masks where the hair is in layers. It's like just a strip of hair hangs down, then another strip. But if you lift it up, you can see all these baldy patches underneath. And it's not the best. This is like plush. This is a plush mask. The hair, there's no gaps in it. It's velvety. It's absolutely gorgeous. You know, should you neglect to put your pillow on the mattress tonight, you can always snuggle up next to Kong, because that is absolutely gorgeous. Soft, plush, and just beautiful. Look at his face. Let's try and get this right. Look at the eyes. The eyes are great. Are slits so we can see through? Are somewhere around here. Yeah, there. Sorry, I've still got a gammy hand. This hand is still not working properly. Never rains, but it pours, does it? Look at his jaws. Yeah. Big, proper, you know, gorilla fangs. Nasty. Fair bit of detail inside here as well. Detail across all the teeth, which are really, really good. Really, really good. You know, his big flared nostrils is like, you see, if you look at this face there, it's almost like delight, because he's like, blonde girl, little blonde girl, and of course, don't forget, you know, he does undress her. In 1933, he pulls the top down on Fay Ray. Yep. Rudy bits. Naughty gorilla. Naughty monkey. But we're all like that, aren't we? We can all be cheeky monkeys when we want to be. But yeah, the detail on his face is just fantastic. The great big simian brow. It's exaggerated. As I say in the film, you do see him in various different sort of aspects. And what I love about when you watch the film now, and it's got a glorious restoration on Blu-ray. Oh my God, get the collector's edition or whatever they call it. I've got every version known to man of King Kong. But the latest version, the Blu-ray, which is just sumptuous. So many extras on it, and it just is a work of art. But you can see, because it's stop motion, and of course, stop motion, they take a frame, they move it, take a frame, move it, take a frame. But you can see his fur, everyone always goes like, oh my God, isn't it clever the way that you see his fur moving like in the breeze? Well, yeah, it kind of works like that, but that's not why you see it moving. It's because in every single frame, their fingers are on the hair, on the model, on the puppet, and so they're pushing in. So you see indentations. Now, when the film plays, it looks as though the fur is blowing sort of in the breeze, and it works. No, it works. But that's not what was happening. It was just fingers dabbling on his big monkey head. But I think he's sensational. As I say, Trick or Treat Studios, and look at that. That is just completely lush. That is all stitched in. That's brilliantly done. As is the case with a lot of Trick or Treat Studios masks, there is something on the inside. There is an M, or is it a W? Who can tell? Who can tell? And there's also a number, and we have 122, 122. I know some people seem to like, the little, what's inside the mask, Kilt-Man? What marks are in there? Who signed it off? But this is absolutely fantastic. I've been praising it, and I've just this moment discovered that there is a line going through here where, well, I don't know, is it part of the actual, there's nothing on the inside. Yeah, there seems to be a bit of a seam going through. It's not on the other side, it's only on the one side. Hey, you guys can't even see that, I can't even see it, but I just felt it then. So what? So what? But look at him. That lovely sort of grey, leathery aspect to his skin. Again, that's not the most convincing of gorillas, but that is a really good likeness of the original King Kong, who will always be king of Skull Island. Incidentally, although I like the look of Kong in the film Skull Island, I hated the movie. And I know they're trying to bring him to fight Godzilla, but I don't like Godzilla either, The original Toho movie of Godzilla, yeah, brilliant. All those spin-offs and sequels, couldn't give a shit about. Big rubbery fucking monster, trashing Tokyo again and again and again. Well, I know Godzilla has legions of fans. He's the main man. And after 1933, everything has been slightly inferior. Peter Jackson's Leviathan remake, I do love still, but it's, man, he went on too far with it. It's almost as though if I could get to remake, say, Escape from New York, or The Thing, or Mad Max, if I could, my favourite movies, if I could get to remake them, I would be just the same as Peter Jackson was with King Kong. Every scene, which I love, every scene would be elongated and extended. There'd be more emotion, the music, the action, everything would be exaggerated and pushed out there to the nth degree. Because that's what he did with King Kong. And yeah, and it shows. It was his love letter to his favourite film of all time. And I don't blame him. But, it was indulgence to hell and back. Every scene went on forever. And as much as I love it, and I do love the film, he just completely exaggerated and extended everything beyond that elastic point where elastic springs back, but if you go too far with it, you just kill it and it's just dead. And he came perilously close to doing that with his King Kong. But here we go. Here's the original guy. Look at him. Isn't he great? He's a beauty. Let's get this labelling off. Okay, folks, should I chance it? You know what I'm like with this. You know how dangerous this ski and do can be for me. Oh, shit. What you didn't see there was I actually did hit my finger again. Let's just get the innards out of that. Right, I took the labelling off. So there he is, folks. Okay, if you insist. If you guys insist. Going in. I'm going ape. Hey, where the blonde women at? See that big tower up there? What are those buzzing things in the distance? Are they big flies? Oh, son of a bitch. Yeah, look at it. Look. That is quite a luxurious mask, isn't it? Yeah. That is a luxurious mask. That doesn't half come down. You know, you can wear this in the winter and you'll never feel the cold at all. Yes, I'm on your side. Kilt-Man and King Kong. There he is. Look, see the profile. Now that does look very appropriately and accurately simian, doesn't it? You know, from the side profile. It's just, you know, he has that sort of goofy expression on his face, and the really exaggerated brows. But there's warmth, heart, and soul to those eyes. It's only a mask, of course, but they've captured the essence of what Kong was all about. He had a heart. He was, you know, he was just a mistaken monster. He didn't want to cause any harm. He was just trying to survive. You know, it's just one of those tragic stories. Ape meets girl. Ape gets shot off high building, you know. Oh, it wasn't the planes that did it. It was beauty killed the beast. Terribly sad. An incredibly audacious story as well. You know, it's a crazy idea and very subversive. If you think about it, there's an element of bestiality there, and it's not hidden either. But then again, it comes across as like, you know, like you love your dog. The dog's devotion to you is an animal, you know. The ape's devotion to Andaro is just as valid. Just as a bit of a size difference, you know. And his anger can get the better of him sometimes. When he smashes the trains up and all that, and he picks up a girl that he thinks is Andaro, and he looks at her. No, you are it. Whoa! Just throws it like 30 stories to the ground. You're like, oh my god! Stomping people underfoot as well. Oh, it's just, it is. When his wrath is incurred, fuck me, you'll know about it. Yeah. This was made a few years ago, I think, 2010, 2012. I could be wrong there, but it's not a new mask. It's not a new release. It's just new to me, and I think it's absolute genius. I love it. I love him. I would love a mask of the 76 version, you know, the Rick Baker design mask. Yeah, I know that suit has its problems, you know, you see the fur coming off it as well, and it's quite clearly it's Rick Baker in the bloody suit, you know, but when you see the mask up close, there's such emotion in that face, and of course that the eyes really convey so much empathy and soul. This guy, on the other hand, there was never a mask. It was just, he was a puppet, an armature with the fur and the muscle built upon it, and then moved frame by frame by frame. Can you imagine how laborious that process must be? Yeah, Ray Harryhausen perfected it all, and of course, Tim Burton loves stop motion animation as well, you know, and there's been genius works ever since. But the granddad of stop motion, the granddad of effects, the granddad of horror, suspense, and monsterdom is this guy, Big King Kong. Look at that fur. It's just, oh, you don't want to stop stroking it. And I love his proper silverback tufty head as well, you know. Listen, Max Steiner's score is so powerful. It's exciting, it's relentless, it's aggressive, you know. And you have this lyrical softness to it as well. There's beauty to it, because it is a story of Beauty and the Beast. Beauty and the Beast. Anyway, folks, there you go. King Kong, 1933. Made by Trick or Treat Studios, sculpted by Justin Mabry. Beautiful paintwork on it as well, but the expression is spot on, and the fur is just unbelievably plush and luxurious. He says, getting his own fur out of his eyes. So there you go. There you go. Folks, Kong will always rule. He will always be king of the jungle. So folks, take it easy. Keep it kilted. Keep it Celtic. And go Kong it. It's conga time. See y'all